Something inside you already knows this message is not random. You didn't arrive here by accident. In fact, there is a quiet reason you were guided to hear these words today. Because recently, whether you've spoken about it or kept it completely to yourself, you've been thinking about someone who hurts you, someone who betrayed your trust, crossed a line, or tried to damage your life in ways that felt deeply unfair. And part of you has wondered something you may not even admit out loud. Did they really get away with it? Did they truly walk away untouched while you were left to pick up the pieces? But here is the truth that your soul has been trying to remind you of. Nothing in this universe is ever truly lost, and nothing that is done in the darkness stays hidden forever. There is a quiet law that removes through life, a law older than any system humans created. Energy returns. Actions circle back. What is planned will eventually grow. And right now, whether you can see it yet or not, that circle has already begun to turn. You see, there was a time when it looked like the person who wronged you was winning. Maybe they had influence, connections, money, or status. Maybe people admired them and believed the image they projected to the world. From the outside, it seems like everything kept working out for them. While you were healing from what they did, they were smiling in public, moving forward like nothing had happened, and that can be one of the hardest things to process. Because when someone hurts you deeply, a small voice inside asks, how can someone cause so much damage and still continue living like nothing matters? But the universe doesn't measure life by appearance. What looks successful on the surface is often hiding cracks underneath. And people who build their lives through deception, manipulation, or harm are building on foundations that cannot hold forever. For a while, they may rise. For a while, the world may praise them. For a while, it may look like their choices had no consequences. But every rope has an end. Every circle completes itself, and eventually the truth arrives. The person who wronged you didn't just harm you. That behavior was part of who they became. People who betray one person rarely stops there. The same pattern repeats again and again with others. Lies multiply, manipulation spreads, harm echoes outward, and while they believe they were escaping accountability, they were actually waving the net that will eventually catch them. Sometimes justice arrives quickly, sometimes it appears suddenly. But when the moment comes, the weight of everything they have done returns at once. And here is something that may surprise you. Often, the real consequences isn't just what happens around them, it's what happens inside them. Because there are two kinds of prisons in this world. There is a physical prison people can see, and there is a spiritual prison people carry within themselves. A life without peace, a heart without joy, a mind constantly haunted by fear, guilt, and emptiness. And many people who cause harm eventually end up trapped in one of these prisons. Sometimes both. You may not witness every detail, of their downfall. Life doesn't always allow you to watch the full story unfold, but that doesn't mean the story isn't unfolding. Sometimes people who once looked untouchable slowly lose the very thing they built their identity on. Their reputation cracks, their opportunities disappear, their relationship falls apart, and the same energy they once sent outward begins returning from every direction. But here is the deeper truth that matters even more than what happens to them. You were never meant to carry the darkness, and for a time, you almost did. When someone close to you betrays you, the damage can reach deeper than people realize. It can make you question your judgment. It can make you wonder if you missed something obvious. It can even make you doubt your own worth. And if you're honest with yourself, there may have been moments when the negativity started to affect the way you saw the world, but something inside you refused to completely collapse under the weight. Something in your spirit kept searching for light, even when things felt confusing, even when you were hurt, even when parts of you wondered how people could be so cruel. You kept moving forward. And that choice changed everything. Because the trap they set for you was never truly yours. It was theirs. People who operate through manipulation often believe they are controlling others, but in reality, they are slowly sabotaging themselves. The lies that they tell eventually exposes them. The harm they cause eventually isolates them. The darkness they spread eventually surrounds them. And the pit they dug for others becomes the place they fall into. Meanwhile, your path moved in a different direction. You began seeing people more clearly. You began noticing the difference between genuine kindness and hidden agendas. You began understanding how important it is to protect your energy and the company you keep. Because who you surround yourself with shapes the direction of your life. This is why the universe has been protecting you more than you realize. There were moments when things could have gone very differently, moments when their influence almost pulled you into their chaos, but somehow you were redirected. Somehow you saw the truth before it was too late, and that quiet shift changed you from a path that could have damaged your life far more than deeply. You might still wonder why people like that exist, why someone would use their intelligence, their talent, or their position to hurt others instead of lifting them up. And that question is part of what makes your spirit different. Because you were never built to thrive through destruction, you were built to create, to uplift, to bring light into spaces where others bring darkness. And when someone who operates in darkness encounters someone like you, they often feel threatened by the very qualities that makes you strong. Your honesty exposes their deception. Your empathy reveals their selfishness. Your integrity reminds them of what they choose not to become. And instead of changing themselves, some people try to dim the light they see in others. But the truth is, the light was never theirs to control. They could criticize you, manipulate you, lie about you, or try to break your confidence. But none of those things could erase who you truly are. Because the moment you stop giving them your power, their influence over your life began to disappear. And that is where the real shift begins. The person who once attacked and thought they were above you. The person who tried to make you feel small. The person who believed they could control or intimidate you eventually loses the illusion they built around themselves. Power that is based on fear always fades. Status built on deception always collapses. And the same person who once looked untouchable eventually faces the consequences they thought they would never arrive. But the universe didn't guide you here today to celebrate someone else's fall. That's not the purpose of this message. The real purpose is to remind you of something far more important. You survived something that was meant to weaken you, and it ended up revealing your strength instead. You are still standing, you are still growing, you are still moving towards the life that was meant for you. And while the person who hurt you is becoming trapped in the energy they created, you are walking away from it. You are not the tail, you are the head. You are not the one begging for approval or validation. You are someone who understands your value now. And when you know your worth, people who once tried to control you loses their power completely. So if part of your heart still carries the moment of what happened, release that burden of wondering whether justice exists. Life has its own way of balancing every scale. Your role was never to punish them. Your role was to rise beyond what they tried to turn you into. And the beautiful thing is, that is exactly what you're doing. You are healing, you are awakening, you are stepping into a vision of yourself that is wiser, stronger, and far more aware than before. And the same universe that exposed the darkness is quietly guiding you towards brighter chapters you cannot yet fully see. So take a deep breath and remember this. You are protected, you are supported, and everything that was meant to destroy you is slowly turning into the very thing that elevates you.